People, can they go in here?
Yeah, we see people going in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mostly tourists.
Do you recognize this man? We see Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston on Boston Common every Christmas, sharing the story of how the city of Boston came to the aid of Halifax more than 100 years ago.
It was down there in a narrow stretch of Halifax Harbor where two ships collided on December 6, 1917. The collision caused a massive explosion that wiped out almost the entire north end of the city, including 1,500 homes. 2,000 people died, 9,000 were injured, and thousands more were left homeless.
To this day, the Halifax explosion remains the largest non-nuclear explosion caused by humans in history. Atop Fort Needham Hill sits the Halifax Explosion Memorial Bell Tower, a place where people can reflect on the horrors of that day and the friendship that developed between the two cities.
Some of the folklore is that the fishermen heard the explosion. In any event, they found out something bad happened and they were trying to make contact, but when they couldn't make contact, they got to work. And by 10 o'clock that night, the good people of Boston had loaded a train with provisions, medical personnel, all kinds of supplies, and were on their way to help.
Halifax is home to one of the largest and deepest ice-free natural harbors in the world, making it one of the most important Canadian commercial ports on the Atlantic seaboard. Originally the domain of the native Mi'kmaq people, the French eventually established the colony of Acadia here. The British took power in 1713, and the city became Halifax in 1749.
So Halifax is an old Army-Navy town, which was first created in 1749 at the insistence of the governor of Massachusetts. In fact, William Shirley at the time insisted that a naval base be placed here to basically counter the threat posed by New France to New England. This sort of artificial notion that American history and Canadian history are two different things, and they're just not. They are the same thing.
High on the aptly named Citadel Hill stands the Halifax Citadel.
I like to say this is our castle, the center of the downtown. You can't miss it. You look up, there's the hill. What's up there?
Despite standing through numerous wars and military conflicts, the star-shaped Citadel never saw battle. Today it is used as an educational tool.
The noon gun is a cannon that we fire here every single day at 12 o'clock. So we've been doing that for pretty much 200 years. It's a long-standing tradition, and originally it was a timekeeping method, primarily for sailors.
The city's growth was directly tied to threats of war. Halifax served as an outpost for the British during the American Revolution beginning in 1775, and became a refuge for those who were loyal to the crown. That included black loyalists.
For more than 100 years, a small black community called Africville thrived in Halifax's North End. In the 1960s, it was demolished, and its residents have been fighting for justice ever since.
Black life in Canada began in Nova Scotia. People who came after the War of 1812 as free individuals being promised land, provisions, all those things that make you feel like a productive, normal human being, right? It only came to light, I say yesterday, in 2018, when the Nova Scotia government admitted that many of the black loyalists were not given the proper deed to these lands.
Juanita Peters is the executive director of the Africville Museum.
We're sitting on lands right now that had lots of families, stores, a school, a church, farms, you know, everything that makes a community work. Over time, the city populated the area with a slaughterhouse, an infectious disease hospital, a prison, an open dump. And then the city continued to talk about the community as though it was a slum. Nobody asked. Eventually, they were forced out and forcibly removed from the land.
We don't say relocated. We were not relocated. When they took us apart, demised us, we thought we'd be together as a community. We weren't.
And Juanita Peters tells us that there are many plans for keeping the Africville community alive, including Africville Marina. The sailing school at the marina opened in August right off the park, and it began providing sailing lessons for underserved youth. The full marina will be completed sometime in 2027.